night, he did those lamps, and he is really good. So this summer, he'll be 8, and the other one is 9. They'll be working with, I'm going to work with them to do the lampshades because they, people like them and people are buying them. They're really good. So maybe another 5 years, my older grandsons, not these two, but the 2 older ones might want to take over. If not, I'll just hopefully sell. But I think 15 years, when it wasn't supposed to be anything, would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So how do you, Drew, how can Bank of America kind of help her to, as she moves toward that transition, since she knows that this is, something she's probably going to do, probably going to sell in a few years? How do you help her to move toward that transition?
Sure. So, at Bank of America, at Bank of America, we want to help clients from beginning to end. And it sounds like, Phyllis, you have things already kind of set up for retirement, but we do offer, Merrill Lynch services with Bank of America services as well. So I'd love to make an introduction there. And in addition, when it comes to selling your building, Bank of America, can definitely be involved in that process as well. If you find a buyer, we'd be more than willing to, to lend a hand, in that process. So, there are many ways in which, we can partner together, to help you when it comes time to move on to that next chapter.
So one of the things that's interesting to me, Phyllis, is that you talk about your grandson and the other folks that you have kind of helping you. I'm seeing a transition, a movement to more online stuff with you, with the assistance of some of these young people that you have around you. That's what it sounds like to me.
My niece comes on Mondays because she works at a law firm, and on Mondays she's off. So we take those are days that we go use. She does the computer because she's, I have to bribe her, but she does come down on Mondays to get stuff done, and she's really, really, really good with the computer. I just like, she calls and yes, I'm Phil, and then she comes and she does what she has to do. So, and she's good at that. So we need to get the online store really working, and I want to introduce my grandkids to business because their parents are all that, really in terms of business. I can't say, I'm super proud of the way that my boys are work their business. And so I'm trying to get the little ones, doing the same thing. And I just happen to be babysitting, I think. He goes to Wilmington Friends, so they had a week off. And so he came to the store, and I have about maybe 19 cans of paint. And he just started messing with the paint, and we just started, okay, let me show you how to do this with the lamps. And he started making these lamps. A lady walked in and offered him literally $45 for a lampshade, and he cried, and he said, no, family first. This is for my dad. And he refused to sell, but he's good at that.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds great, and we appreciate you. And of course, we want to know how we can be supportive. So tell people the address, the phone number, and a website where they can be supportive of your boutique.
Okay. I'm at a part of me at 3834 Lancaster Avenue. Be mindful that you have to pay to park, so we don't want you to get a ticket. I'm open Wednesday through Saturday from 11 to 6. And you can look me up on Facebook at A Part of Me Boutique and on Instagram at A Part of Me. I forgot what she did. I'm sorry. I think it's Part of Me Boutique on Instagram too. My niece set it up, so I just go in and look.
What's the number?
Okay, I'm sorry. The phone number for the store is 215-662-0707. I also make appointments, so if you ever need an appointment, it's 215-834-9836. So that's 215-662-0707 for the store, or for an appointment, it's 215-834-9836.
All right. All right. So, Drew, how can people get in touch with you at Bank of America?
Sure, they can contact me directly at 215-341-4847. That's 215-341-4847. And also by email at drew.gardner, Gardner, @bofa.com.
All right. Well, I want to thank you both for joining us this morning on Word on Business, of course, sponsored by Bank of America. and we will talk to you both soon. Take care.
All right.
Thank you, Solomon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phyllis.
All
right, then.
All right. So we are going to go to break. And on the other side of this break, we're going to continue the show with What's Trending right here on WURD Radio. I am Solomon Jones. This is WURD. We'll be right back.
Okay, Her's new fire potato chips and cheese curls, they are spicy. Whew, they're hottest snacks yet. Hold on. Whew. But you know, it's not just heat. There's some nice sweet and savory stuff going on too. Ooh, there's that heat again. It burns, but it burns so tasty. Ooh, that's hot. Find Her's Fire Snacks at your store today. Whew. Taste the flavor, feel the heat, break out the Her's.
Hi, this is Samantha from Leo's Apparel on Germantown and Lehigh Ave. Open from 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Saturday. We have the hottest selection of boys' dress suits and casual sportswear for boys, sizes 2T to 20. Men, let me tell you, we got in a large shipment of straws from Stetson. We have new linen and dress suits. Biggest selection of Stacey Adams shoes. Get an extra WURD 10% discount.
Want the latest in WURD swag? Check out the shop tab on WURDradio.com. Hoodies, tees, and more in a variety of colors. The shop tab on WURDradio.com. Show the world that you're all about black. Talk media. Livelihood. WURD Radio's new initiative, connecting Black Philadelphians with jobs, entrepreneurship resources, small business development information, and financial literacy tools. Tune in to WURD Radio for our weekly livelihood segments and every weekday show. For a full schedule, visit WURDradio.com/livelihood. For more information on livelihood, visit WURDworks.com. That's WURDWORKS.com.
Back by popular demand.
It's Wake Up with WURD, hosted by Solomon Jones. Right now on WURD Radio,
96.1 FM
and 900 AM WURD. Circuits are busy. Here's what's trending.
Yo, that's crazy.
On Wake Up with WURD.
In the documentary Tina, which is garnering acclaim since its release, it's shedding light on the many challenges the rock icon faced. Tina Turner was allegedly referred to as an old N-word douchebag by a Capitol Records executive in the 80s. That same executive vowed to not market the album in any way. Occurring over 40 years ago when Capitol Records was under different management, a current Capitol Records spokesperson calls these comments reprehensible and appalling.
And 2 Capitol police officers have filed a federal lawsuit against former President Donald Trump that blames him for physical and emotional injuries they sustained during the deadly January 6th Capitol riot. Both officers, Maryland residents, seek more than $75,000 in compensatory damages plus punitive damages for emotional and physical injuries.
And Ice Cube is heated because he says stocks company Robinhood used his face to plug their services without his permission. So now he's taking them to court over it. Cube claims Robinhood took an image of him from another project he'd worked on and slapped it into a newsletter update talking about stock market corrections and captioned it with a riff on a famous lyric from one of his songs. Cube goes so far as to say Robinhood is the antithesis of everything that he stands for and refers to their products and services as, quote, horrible. And that is what's trending.
All right, that's what's trending right here on WURD Radio. And, of course, we want to hear from you. You can give us a call at 215-634-8065. That is the number you can call to get in on the conversation right here at WURD Radio. Let us know where you are on anything that we're talking about on this morning show. And, of course, that includes our top 3 stories, which are story number 1, Charles McMillan, the first bystander to witness the fatal arrest of George Floyd, began to weep as he rewatched video of the incident unfold in Minnesota court on Wednesday. Story number 2, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp launched a counterattack on Delta Airlines CEO Ed Bastian Wednesday afternoon, just hours after Bastian said the voting bill Kemp signed last week was unacceptable, wrong, and based on a lie. And, of course, story number 3, President Joe Biden unveiled a more than $2 trillion infrastructure package on Wednesday as his administration shifts its focus to bolstering the post-pandemic economy, says they're going to create millions of jobs. Here's my question, really the only question that matters to me. How much of that money, how many of those jobs will go to black folks? We want to hear from you. You can give us a call. 215-634-8065 is the number. You can also weigh in on Facebook at 4WURD. That's FORWURD, FORWURD. Derek from North Philly is online too. Go ahead, Derek.
Good morning, Brother Solomon. Love, peace, blessings, and prosperity.
Same to you.
Brother Solomon, what I wanted to speak about today was Mr. George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's horrible in a way, watching his trial.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do this for Mr. George Floyd in his behalf.
Mm-hmm.
Look at and maintain to see that things are going correctly, because we seem to be living in a time that, which I feel, Solomon, that our ancestors, I think it was Chuck Berry that made a song said "Roll Over Beethoven." Well, I feel our ancestors are telling me things, and I feel our ancestors are saying to me is that this is the way we felt back in 1853, back in 1860, when the master called us out to the yard and would whip us or hang us or do whatever, and we stood around feeling helpless. But here we are in the millennia. So we got to continue to do as our ancestors did, continue to resist until America live up to its creed to all its citizens.
I hear you, man. I want to thank you so much for your call this morning on WURD Radio. If you want to get in, it's 215-634-8065. Maurice from Southwest is on line 1. Go ahead.
Thank you, Solomon. Hey, when I heard that mayor's news conference yesterday, I couldn't wait to talk to you, because to me it seemed so generic without any kind of feelings behind it. And the people that was up there speaking, I didn't even know who these people were. That he talked for like 30 seconds and then put them on. And I didn't understand. It almost was like I was at a Black Lives Doesn't Matter meeting. It was no feeling, no desperation, no crisis. It's just like they was reading off a piece of paper. I mean, I think they even had a slideshow they were doing during that press conference, and we got nothing out of it. So, did you watch it?
No.
I'm glad you didn't. But you know what?
No, but you know, and I'll say this. I mean, you know, the mayor's going to do what he's going to do. You know, my focus really at this point is on what we're going to do. And, you know, we are in the process of putting together something that really focuses on the voices of those who are involved in this, rather than the voices of those who are talking about it from on high, saying that they're working on it, etc. I mean, they can do what they're going to do, but my focus right now really is on empowering the young men whose lives are at risk. I mean, that's where I'm at right now. And so you're going to hear about that over the next couple of days. So I don't really, to be honest with you, I'm not focused on what the mayor's saying in a press conference about gun violence. I'm focused on helping these young men to save their lives. That's where I'm at right now.
But you know what a thing I don't understand is how come they didn't have you up there? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, they don't need me up there talking. I talk 3 hours a day. We in the process of doing.
No, but the reason I'm saying that, because you right now, by this being the only black station, you got the heart of the black people We should be not hearing from them genetic secretaries they had up there. We need to hear somebody that actually knows about what black life's about, and that would be you.
Well, I want to thank you, Maurice, and I appreciate that, man. And, you know, wherever I can help, I'm willing to help. But right now, we focus on these young brothers, man. We got to save some. We got to save some of their lives. And, you know, if anybody claims they have this broad answer that's going to answer all of this, well, great. You know, I'm willing to listen to them. But I really do think that we have to focus on these young men and young women from many different points of view, man. From the law enforcement points of view, from the services points of view, from the employment point of view, from figuring out what's going on at home, like all of that. We got to figure out all of that, man, and figure it out quickly, because we are just allowing people's lives to be lost when I don't think it has to be that way. I really don't. It doesn't have to be that way. But we got to care. We got to care about what happens with our folks, man. So, Maurice, thank you for your call. I want to hear from you. Give me a call, 215-634-8065. Ann from North Philly is online, too. Go ahead, Ann.
Yes, hello, Solomon and Kawesa. One of the listeners that I miss hearing from in a while, and I keep calling to ask, I want to call to ask about her, Miss Mary from Mount Airy. I hope all is well with her. Thank you.
I hope so, too. I hope so, too. And I want to thank you for your call this morning on WURD Radio. And certainly you can weigh in on Facebook at forward, at FORWURD, FORWURD, and let us know where you are on these various things we are talking about on this morning's show. Kawesa, what are they saying this morning on Facebook?
So we are back up and running. Thank you all so much for being patient with us. So Tom Bryant is saying good morning, and so thank you so much for checking us out. Gail Robinson, thanks for checking us back out again. She was like, back up. So yes, thank you. Sharon Edwards, we appreciate you weighing in this morning. Gary Murray says the state legislature, they got locked up knocking on Georgia governor's door, is having a news conference today, so I'll make sure that I try to take a look at that, see what's going on there. And then also Wanda Flood was mentioning that she couldn't find the website for something just fell. Website for Part of Me Boutique, but she did actually provide a phone number and also her store hours and where she's located. So she's at 3834 Lancaster Avenue, and the number is 215-662-0707. Again, that's 215-662-0707. So you can always go ahead and give her a call if you need to get some additional information or are trying to visit the store. Shaquille Smith, thanks so much for checking us out. Good morning to you. And also good morning to Gary Bryant. Thanks for checking us out. And then I did grab, I know that I started to read a few folks a little bit earlier, but I did grab some screen shots from earlier. Ayatunde Garrett says, Mr. J, you speak the truth at all topics this morning. And Solomon, you made a great point there. Are good black cops out there? Paul Persing is saying, just vote these jokers out of office who make these laws. So that's another comment that we have. And then we also have here, Norma Gowan says, even cash they give will eventually run out. So that's another comment. And then Coyce Vickers Jr., at a minimum, police should be required to have an associate degree. I don't know. Do we feel that that if somebody has a higher education, that means that they will somehow have more humanity?
I know.
That's my question, because I don't think that everybody necessarily needs a degree. I feel that everybody needs training. Yes, definitely. But I think that even with training, if you come in there with bias and racist tendencies already, no amount of training is going to teach you how to be a better person. You got to do that yourself. So that's just my 2 cents about it. And lastly, Ravetta Everett Gilmore, police don't care about black people killing black people. We are not going to police our way out of this violence. So those are just a few comments that we have, but thanks so much for everybody weighing in this morning.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for weighing in as well. And, that's why I say we all got to do more. We all have to do more, man. And we can't afford to sit by and just watch as our people are slaughtered. And guess what? Not just by the police, by each other. And it goes to a mindset, man. We live in a place where we are taught both passively and actively, from the time we are born, that the lives of black people do not matter as much. You know, I mean, in every aspect of our society. You know, I was watching, and it sort of reminds me of what happens with black people. I was watching one of my wife's old movies yesterday, and you know what happens a lot in old movies? Women get slapped around. That happened a lot in old movies, and it was normalized. And I'm watching that like, is that a reflection of society, or is society a reflection of that? And so when you have media, right, that normalizes the abuse of certain segments of the population, well, then that becomes reflected in reality, although I think it actually is a reflection of what was already happening. But to normalize that, and in the same way, you look at the old movies, black people were always in a position of subservience, right? And so that was, you know, normalizing and reinforcing this mistreatment of black people in media, in banking, in real estate, in education, in every segment of society. There was this normalization and reinforcement of racism. And so we live in a society where even in a movie, even in a modern movie, right? You look at a horror movie, the black person died first. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so when you live in a society that says to you, your life does not matter, you are at risk of internalizing that message. That's the message that we have to change, and we can do that in our community. And guess what? If we can change that message, we can change the outcomes for our people. That's where I'm at, and that's where we all need to be at in terms of stopping this gun violence. It starts with our mindset. If we can change our mindset, we can change our outcomes. I want to thank everybody who tuned in on today's show. I want to thank all of our guests, including political commentator extraordinaire Jay McCalla, Anissa Smith of the Black Food and Dessert Expo, Phyllis Carter of A Part of Me Boutique, and Drew Gardner of Bank of America. And now, for super producer Kuwaisa Mathis and everyone here at WURD Radio, I am your host, Solomon Jones, saying stay tuned for Reality Check with Charles Ellison, and tune in tomorrow at 7 for more Wake Up with Word. Peace.